Working over here. Looks like we're working over here. Hey, Larry, let me hear your voice for a moment.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's
How are
working.
we doing?
Okay,
Yay.
it's just us. I'm not sharing, not exactly sharing the screen just yet.
It's
It's
Friday, you know?
yeah, it's Friday.
Friday
It's going
off.
to be a short. It's going to be a short show today. We have lots of stuff going on on our side over here. Actually, when it rains, it pours. Situation for me, right? You might remember I went into a not a rant. I went into like a all over the place with Power Platform last time. So,
Hmm.
and just in case you're not very sure, that's what my game is lately. A lot of it. So, normally I would say I'd love to like spread myself out, do M365, do cloud, get into the Azure, do Logic apps, get into the code and do all that stuff. But lately, as they say, when you start doing one thing more, it just gets more and more of the same thing, and people are like, it's not exactly like a Adam West typecasting, but it's more of a you're doing this, you're fresh with it. Please come over here and do that thing that you just did over here. Oddly enough, I'm
Right.
now in some programs where there's a whole bunch of do that thing that you just did and then do it again next week and then next week. So I might be going on this like Groundhog Day repeat and rinse situation. However, and here's the cool thing about the cloud, because the cloud is what it is, every cloud project or everything that you do will always have its differences, flavors, its nuances. Folks, this is why we like to do what we do, frankly,
Exactly. I
right?
mean, the cloud's amorphous, and the fun part about it, like you said, is everyone's different, but they're all similar. Okay. So, I like to. One of the things that I said before, the map is not the territory.
Yes,
Okay. And if you don't know the territory, then you're not going to be able to really get the best optimized solution. And that's why you need a native guide. And that's what you are, Ralph. You're the native guide. You've been through this.
so it's
And
like you were talking about being the tourist, like in Chicago or something like that. I'm going through the same old ground. I'm walking the same streets. I'm showing the same buildings, but depending on the group or whoever's there, I might say it's slightly different. I might even change my accent for God's sake. I'm a pure Chicago because I got to do it that way. All right. Hey, it's a Chicago accent. It's like when we have Italian sausage, it's SAH sedge, and that's the way to have it. All right. Or I could just talk properly. Who showed me this? I think it was some comedian said, a British comedian said, if you want to have an Oxford accent, hold your finger on your upper lip, stiff upper lip, and all of a sudden you're talking properly. Stiff upper lip. Just
Step up a
something
little.
interesting, right? Now, imagine
So,
if Alexa and all those people could do it.
well, now Alexa, you can get other voices. So
True.
you can get other voices for it.
Right. I mean,
They're paid voices you can get.
I forgot we were supposed to do maybe not today because we don't have enough time for it because this deserves time. We should do an Alexa, build a little Alexa thing. That'd be
Absolutely.
cool. And I know you can do it. It's sort of low code-ish, right? And when we
It
say low
is.
code, again, we say not as much code.
Right.
Couple of
You
things,
let
type it in,
or
hit the
toolkit.
OK. Yes,
There's
virtual
a
kit.
toolkit that you use, and you assemble pieces. It's like, I mean, we'll swap it around a little bit, but people who modify their cars, and
Yes.
or people who, if you're going to put in a new, if you're going to rip out the insides of your kitchen
Ah,
and put in new everything, you don't build the cabinet. They're not stick cabinets where you get pieces of wood and you put them together to put a cabinet. No, you go to Home Depot or one of the big box stores,
right?
and you buy the cabinets as units and you put them in and put them in place. So
Absolutely.
that's what we're talking about.
That's
It's
what we're talking
specialized
about.
stuff.
I still will have someone else do it. I'm not going to do it. There's like do it yourself DIY. I'm like
Yeah,
it's a DIY for me. It's do yourself injury the problem. So I just
yeah,
say pay the professionals, get her done. Thank God I have a job that allows me
yeah,
to such a thing.
absolutely. And we get to continue to do the fun stuff that we enjoy. So one of the things that I put in our little promo out
Yeah,
was I wanted to talk a little bit about DevOps at the edge, because
DevOps at the edge.
the edge is a cliff, and the
Oh,
cliff is, there's a big drop off there,
ah,
and it's unforgiving.
ah. Did you want to talk, or do you have a link that you want me to put on and
No,
show?
no, just
Okay,
chat
let's chit
because
chat.
you
Okay,
know
that's fine.
just chit chat because yeah. So think about this: your edge device, right? Your little Raspberry Pi that's out in the field, that's connected via radio or something stupid like that. Um, you need to put a new piece of software on it, right? You need to update the OS, for example.
Right?
And so
Yes.
you push an update, and the update fails because they will. They're
Yes.
like that. And edge devices, you're not talking about one, you're talking about 20,000 different edge devices. Okay,
Number right off the top of your head, no problem.
just a number, just a number.
Just a number.
What am I saying? But if you botch that, or even if you don't botch it, let's just say that 99.9% of them work, and so you've got 20 that don't, and they don't work because as they were downloading over the airwaves, remember we did it by radio,
Right.
as they're downloading the image,
Uh-huh.
something happened to the connection. And so
Yes.
now they're in this bad state because edge devices are not always connected. So how do you deal with DevOps at the edge? And it's a different kind of problem than the one that we're used to in the cloud, because cloud is all about, well, you just tear it down and stand a new one up.
Right, but that's like all or nothing. It's like, imagine doing that, and then just because one device, these are just two, how do we say it, problem issues. And just because
Mhm.
that happens and everyone's all fine, it's almost like, hey, but we're okay. Why are you going to make us suffer for those guys? I think that's the problem, right?
Right. So what you're going to end up with is, when you got a Raspberry Pi that's out in the field, you have to go out physically, manually to touch it. That's expensive, and
Oh,
that's defeating the purpose at the
indeed.
edge. So, then what are your options? Well, you can have two. You can put some redundancy there.
Uh-huh.
So you could do kind of a red blue. And really, part of what this is coming about is that KVM, the Raspberry Pi KVM switch that we looked at Kickstarted last
Yes,
week.
that's right.
That's that's the type of device that you need, because that device actually will let you, you know pretend to be, a derived, and pretend to be, a USB device on your machine, that it's connected to, and you can cycle the power with it. So, um, old school, like the Power Edge, the Dell servers, they had
Yes.
something called iDRAC, IDRAC,
Oh,
and
wow.
and and that's what those were. Those were little computers that were connected. They had their own network jack in the back, and they weren't Raspberry Pis, but they were little devices that could control the power and could,
And
turn it
that was
off and
their only
on.
job. Their only job was turning it on
That
and
was their
off.
only job, right? And you never update them. They're firmware based, right? You don't you can't botch them with a software update. But anyway,
Machines supporting the machines in this particular case.
supporting the machines, right? It's turtles all the way down.
Wow.
So, uh, but anyway, that's the. I think
So
that
is that a
when we talk
physical?
about
Is that a
DevOps,
physically thing to do in DevOps, or is there software or process involved here?
so one other option that you could do, which is weird. It seems a little counterintuitive, but you could actually run all of your software inside containers that are running on your device.
Oh yes, of course.
So then you're just pushing down a new container. You leave the base operating system alone. It doesn't have access to the outside world. All it does is receive these containers, um, and you're again isolating yourself a little bit from, the
Well,
possibility of bricking.
right. You're essentially you're keeping yourself from touching the higher elements and the, let's just say, the soft tissue. You're staying away
Right.
from that by going there. However, the soft tissue can still go down for another reason, right?
It's got right. It has to be updated as well,
Yes.
right? So what you do is you make sure to reduce the surface area as much as possible. You have it doing nothing but that one thing, um, and but people are people, so mistakes will be made, and you will have to go out and physically touch those devices. But it's 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 like the problems that you were talking about before. That is part of this same cloud, right? Edge devices are part of the cloud.
Of course they are. On the
They're the
edge.
edge cloud, right? Um, but but the problems that you have there and the problems that you have in the center are different. And knowing the path that you're traveling, putting all of these different pieces together. If you're talking about a cloud um, application that doesn't have any edge presence, wow, you don't have to worry about that problem at all. Okay.
Ah,
But if you've got edge in there, then there's a whole new set of problems that you have to deal with, and it changes your answers to the other ones
this
because
is true.
they all have to mix together.
Right. I mean, the purpose of edge devices, people know what those are. A lot of them is you need to be always on your servicing equipment, machinery. There we go. Phones are if you
The most
the most
popular edge device in
ubiquitous
the world.
edge device, right? Our
Ubiquitous,
phones
yes.
right now. Oh my gosh, I got the new one by the way.
Oh,
Um,
did you?
yes, I did.
Nice.
Our company has and a lot of companies have this kind of deal where like they take care of your phones and stuff like that. Your only thing is you have to bring your own phone. They might buy a phone for you, but as a lot of these companies are beginning to determine, some people just don't like what the companies choose. So some companies say, "We'll buy a phone for you." Great, but I want the latest. I don't want that little thing you have. And then the companies will try. And my favorite IT people will be like, "Well, that's not really been proven or anything else." It's like, really, I don't care what you say. I'm, blah director of this, and I'm going to do what I
Right.
want, right? What do they call that? It's called when you bring when you're for where basically saying
BYOD, right? Bring your own
bring
device.
your own device situation, right? And that's
Yeah.
the concept is you bring your own device. So in this particular concept, they'll pay for it, they'll take care of it. However, your catch is you just have to get a phone. You got to buy a phone, and you got to get those kind that like are not attached to any plan. So all
Right.
those deals and everything else, you just don't get them. So there's the catch. All right. So, but the good thing is, it's just a sim these days. So yeah,
Yeah.
the latest.
You
I
know,
know it's a
I'll
13, but it's okay. It's actually better battery, and I'm actually happy with it so far.
So I actually looked at that. I'm in the old company that is the new company that you and I used to work for, but is no longer.
Meet the new
Yeah, I
boss.
don't
Yep.
like the way I don't like the way the new boss does their phone stuff.
Missing the old
So
boss.
yeah, no, the old boss was great. It was like we're not going to buy you anything. We're just going to give you less than what your bill is, but we're going to give you some money because we know you use your phone for work.
Thank
So
you.
every month, if you put your bill in, we'll give you a
Yeah, we'll
small amount of money.
we'll help you. Yes.
Yeah, it's a supplement. That's all it is. But the new boss is yeah, buy a device, and then if you buy a device, we'll get the contract with the place. So they're not doing the BYO. They're actually going to do it, but they'll buy the contract.
Uh-huh.
But it's like a 2-year deal.
Oh,
And if
oh
I were
dear.
to leave this place, which I'm not planning on yet,
Oh,
things are still changing.
of course, of
I
course.
said yet. I know. And I tell everybody inside as well. I mean, I'm not looking to
Life
change until
happens,
I know what the
life
price is.
happens.
Life happens
Yeah.
though. And but if I leave before the 2 years is up, then I have to buy the contract out.
Oh
And
dear.
I'm cheap. So I'd rather just pay my phone bill.
Just stay put, right? I don't have that situation. This is like if it's up at any moment I can say I don't want it anymore, canceled, done. You know,
Yes.
everyone
Oh,
go on their own
no, I
way.
like it. Absolutely. I would rather pay the exorbitant amount of money a phone is.
A lot of
Um,
cool features on here,
no,
to
no,
be
I was
sure.
looking at the 13. I was actually looking at I think the 13 mini is the one
Yes.
I was looking at. Yeah.
This is the big boy because I got used to
You got,
big now. Yeah.
I know. See, my son's phone is bigger than mine. I mean, and that's okay. He's got um, a Motorola
Right.
Android phone, and mine's an old Pixel. It's an old Android phone, and I enjoy Android. I would much rather still be using my Windows phone, but
Yeah,
Microsoft.
you and me both. Yeah. We missed that one. This is my
Oh,
new Windows phone, actually. So when I told my car, "What's the name of your phone?" all your phone slots are used up. Then I heard it say Ralph's window phone. It came and talked back to me. I'm like, "Oh my
yeah.
god, that's right. My Windows phone was the first phone I ever attached to this car." So I said, "Well, can I make this be my new Windows phone?" And it said, "No, you have to change the name." So whatever. But I'm looking at it, and the cloud helped me a lot over here because the way this works. Here's a very interesting thing. How does this get updated? So get this phone. You make sure that the your activated chip is in there. I put it. It's got to be put in. Your old
Right.
phone could be deactivated. That's fine. But as long as you're on the Wi-Fi, the moment you turn this on, it says, "Hey, bring your phone close." and I'll take care of everything. That's basically what it says. Bring it close. It sounds so like
Yeah.
ooh, creepy, but yeah, basically, you take your phone. Actually, a little thing shows up, and then the camera automatically they detect each other somehow.
Right.
All that. I mean, they're like making decisions for you that we know that normally we used to say yes if you want to do this. No, they just right away say, hey, I see two phones. One needs to be updated, one is not. We're going to assume that your only purpose in life right now is to do this upgrade. So that's what it does right away. So I bring it on top of each other like that, and it scans the crazy floppy, spacey image that actually shows up. And in moments, all the information from that phone is transferring over there. But I have a choice. I can say phone to phone. It'll tell you you need to keep these guys together for an hour, and any interruption, you got to start over, or not
Right.
start over, but you messed up. It implies. It doesn't tell you you'll be messed up.
So
Implies.
see, you mentioned something though,
Yes.
and I wanna dig into it a little bit because
Oh,
you talked about connecting your phone to your car.
yes.
All right.
Bluetooth.
So
Ah.
so cars are edge devices,
Another edge
right?
device.
So cars are more software now than ever before. And what happens when you brick your car
Oh God.
because a software update failed?
I can only imagine, right? And this
I
is
mean,
why they don't want they don't want you to have their little electronic computer kits. They sell them for they're super expensive, and only basically mechanic shops can buy them. But frankly, that is I'd like to have my ability to freaking I want my ability to touch my car, and when I see that freaking yellow light go on, tell me what the hell that yellow light's for.
right.
Why
Tell
not?
me what
Why
real.
tell me why? Why not? What's the problem? What are you keeping from me, and why? Right, but that ability could make me brick my car by accident too.
Yes, yes. Well, I mean, it's all good. It is what it is,
It
right?
is.
I mean, we're it's not. I don't want to be doom and gloom about it, but I definitely know some of the people that write some of the software that you're using to make your life better today, and I can tell
Right.
you, a lot of them are really, really not as bright as you want them to be. Come on.
Oh dear.
I mean, where they're contractors, right? They come in and do a job and leave
And
and don't have to
leave.
worry about it.
Oh dear.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm that contractor. I want to go in, I want to, but when I leave, I don't ever want to get the phone call that says, hey, Larry, this is breaking.
Right.
Can you help me? The answer is going to be no. And unless you pay me, but I really don't want to go back to that problem anyway.
Indeed.
So yeah,
That's the thing.
we're self-serving.
Well, it
By,
is.
by being self-serving, we absolutely are better programmers because I do a good job to make sure that nobody has to call me afterwards.
The end of the story is I didn't choose to keep the phones together for time. I simply said just use the cloud, the iCloud,
Oh,
right?
just use the cloud.
Let's use
Oh,
the cloud.
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
so it said, hey,
Sorry.
I'll do the cloud and it'll be done in 15 minutes because basically the iPhone has been backing itself up all this time. So all it had to do was and it did it automatically. Oh, I just have a few deltas to update.
Right.
In a few minutes, that phone is done. This phone's out. When it transfers, now, of course, becomes the bigger problem. What turned out to take longer are all the individual little apps that had all their little nuances, as in log in again, redo your authenticator, do all these other little
Yeah.
bits.
Oh,
You know,
because you got a new keychain,
that's right.
right? I mean,
Exactly.
and it's completely different. That can't be put up in the cloud and brought back down.
Oh, warning for those
So
in Chicago: the Venture card. If you put money in your iPhone, all right, or actually in the same thing in your Android, and you put it on the actual device, guess what? It's tied to the device. So when you move from one phone to
mhm.
the other, everything will go, but that stays. I literally
so,
have to keep
so
my old iPhone because I have $20 in there. I'm like, wait a minute,
I was
what
gonna
did I do
say,
wrong? I should have attached it to my card instead of actually
yeah.
put the physical cash in there. But it turns out that it actually contains physical cash on that freaking
So,
device.
so you're carrying two phones around. One
So
is just
well,
for your
so I have to
just for
carry two
fast
to make
trash.
it work because it requires internet, right? To make it work. So I have to literally bring this phone, turn on the sharing, connect to that phone with that
Yes.
one if I want to use that $20 on the CTA bus. So I'm going to go like this, take out the phone and go, or no, take the phone out, and then my phone will be like hidden over here just to use it
Yeah.
each time. until $20 is used up. So let's just say this Christmas we're going to the zoo a lot.
There you go.
Oh my God.
look,
Oh, I
all
got
right, well,
I got it. We're about done here with time here. About 30 minutes
Yeah.
in. Okay, I got to show you a couple of things that I also got in the cloud.
absolutely, yeah.
Friends
Tell
in
me.
the cloud, friends in the cloud, and I'll post a link to their site. They, like another little thing that's going on. People with laptops, they put stickers all over for all the conferences they've been in. Have you seen those, right? In conferences, everyone's
Oh
got
yeah.
stickers. Is the thing, right? Stickers are big, and I'm like, I'm a grown man. What am I doing with stickers? Sometimes you don't. Well,
I'll
so
show you.
I got to show you some. Well, you got some? I'll show you some here that I got. My latest
I'll bring back.
stickers.
This is an old laptop with a lot of
There we
old stickers.
go.
Yeah, no, I love my stickers, man. I feel for your buddies.
So I got a few ones over. I got a few ones over here. I wish you're not going to be able to see it over here, but this one says your task failed successfully. Really nice. Your task failed successfully. When you watch the show later, you'll be able to see it. This one just simply says troublemaker. Yeah, of course. That's probably me. My little tiny favorite, and I'll see if we can see it clearly. Your flow ran successfully. So actually, that was a good one. Here it is. It's stick with us PYOD. Get it? It's a hashtag stick with us PYOD. I wonder what the P means. If YOD your own device, pick your own device. I think.
Pick your own device.
Pick your own device.
Your...
Here's a smarmy one. Your tenant or Star Trek font. Your tenant or mine.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Of course, I'm Power App, so I have to have my power piece right over here. And then finally, because I did write the licensing guide, and even though they took it down for good reason, because hey, they didn't need the guide anymore because the actual docs actually are okay. And this one said, licensing killed our adoption. It's like a sad lady looking sad. Those are my stickers. I just wanted to show. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I have one last one because actually, you know what, Larry? I think this is your saying, and they stole it from you, so you better go get your royalties. This one says, "Just because you can, mean you should."
Doesn't mean you should.
There we go. I think Larry said that one. Larry's going to go and collect his royalties.
No, I stole that one. I stole that one myself.
You stole that one yourself? Okay. Somebody owes old royalties somewhere way back. Hey, we got a couple of minutes here, but that's okay. We're going to end it at this point. We didn't share any screens. We were able to make do. By myself, my daughter actually had to go on a production tour there. People are actually doing things outside these days in the real world. Instead of digitizing all their surroundings and stuff like that. In the end of the day, the world is already there. Why go through all the Adobe trouble trying to set that up, right?
It's cheaper. Come on, it's cheaper to go outside than it is to build a virtual environment.
And it's better for you. Just saying.
It's better.
But of course, hey, be safe. Whatever you do, if you do. All right, Sir Lair, we're going to go into our credits, and our show is done.
All right.
Oh, let me hit it. We're out of here.